All right, so line types. First thing you're going to do is put a border around your 5x7 page. You can use a ruler if you want. If you use a ruler, I would suggest going no wider of a border than 1/4 inch. So that would be right here, this width. I like to hand draw borders sometimes, so I just hand drew one around there. And you're going to break it up into 12 sections. I just broke it up 1/3 horizontally and then 1/4 every quarter vertically. So once you have it all broken up, and you can make these even if you want. If you want to do it all with measuring, that's fine. You can do the math, but just know you need to have 12 sections. So if you had a chance to look at what line types are, you can do that at some point if you want. But if you type in line types, either Google it or even in YouTube, you can find lots of examples of what line types. But basically what it is it's the different types of lines. Squiggly lines, zigzag lines, hatch lines, cross-hatch lines, curved lines, diagonal lines, etc. So we're going to do some together first, and the first one we're going to start off with would be in the top left-hand corner is going to be hatch lines. And hatch lines basically can be vertical lines, horizontal, diagonal. Those are kind of your 3 directions you can work with, but they basically, the line continues in the same direction every single time. So let's say I just go diagonal, and then I'll try to stay as close as I can. It looks the nicest when you try to keep them close to the same width and very intentional. And you want to try to make the line go from one side of the section to the other. You don't want to stop in the middle and then try to continue. That'll give you like these kind of really jagged looking lines. Try to keep them as smooth as possible. If you want, you can use a ruler. Put the ruler on there and draw along your ruler if you want. It's entirely up to you. Some people will want to do that and some will want to do it by hand. But don't worry, if you make a line and it accidentally touches like that, that is totally okay. You can intentionally do that, accidentally, whatever. It's going to happen. It's going to be totally okay if it does. And then fill up the whole section from edge to edge. Okay, and if you go outside the line, that's okay. If you don't touch the line, I would encourage you to go back and bring it out so that it touches. If you go too far out into this next section, you're going to cover it up with some other lines anyways, but you could also kind of go along your border here if you want and kind of clean things up with a little bit of a wider line. And that's another thing you'll see in line types is line weight. So the weight of the line is the thickness and darkness of the line. So the thicker and darker the line gets, the heavier weight the line is. All right, I can go back and work on that some more later. Okay, so that's hatching.